What's up, guys? How you doing? Hope we're all well. First stream of 2025. It's actually quite scary. It's like, what the hell is the time going? I know everyone says where does the time go and all that, but man, I'm genuinely feeling it now. I guess it comes with as you get older. The older you get, the quicker time seems to go. It's actually a horrible feeling. What's up, James? How long have we been doing this? God, I've been doing this for 9 years, technically. I started when I was very, very young. Yeah, I started when I was young and kind of fell into ads by accident. I was doing something else before this stuff. And then yeah, I just fell into it. I've always done it. I've always done paid ads marketing. I'm now starting to actually branch off into some other things. Yeah, I'm still building the AI media buyer. Yep. It's £20 a day for sales ads. Do you mean like you spending it yourself? £20 a day is not much money, so you might be able to make it work, but it's gonna be difficult. The reason why is because you need to be spending what your CPA is. So if your CPA is 50, well, you're underbidding at 20 a day. So you got to bear that in mind. How long before you turn off campaign with no conversions? $100 a day. I would turn it off. $100 a day. I'd probably turn it off after about 3 days, or a max of 7. 7 is good because outside of that 7-day period, you're outside of that 7-day attribution window, so 7 days is pretty good. Hey man, static or video ads for supplement brand, which is performing best for me at the moment? What's performing best for me at the moment is actually static. In January, I plan to do way more static than I normally would. Static is actually like massively underrated. There's so much hype around UGC and TikTok, and look at the hook rate and all this stuff. Static is actually really good because like with a static ad, you have a headline, you have a message, and it's straight in your face, like straight away, right? Whereas on video, it takes a little bit more work to get that message across. How do you scale with a small budget? With a small budget, you have to be very careful where you allocate it because you can't spread too thin. What I would personally do is do some top of funnel for a while, like maybe a week or two. Probably gonna have one campaign. Depends how much money you've got. You could have 30 a day and that'd be a small budget to you. You could have 100 a day and that'd be a small budget. I don't know how much you've got, but I'd start with something like 30 a day. Run a top of funnel campaign. Probably have like 2 ads max, 1 ad set because that's all you can really have, and try and get some data. And at the same time, on top of that, try and do organic, because if you can push organic traffic to the site, the ads will work well. How big is my agency? I don't have an agency. I used to have one, but I just work as a freelance now. Having an agency was an actual nightmare. Guys, I I wonder if I can show you real quick. I came across the craziest, most accurate AI image generator today. I'm going to show you it if you want to check it out yourself. You have to have a GitHub account. You can do it for free. It's called FAL, FAL.ai. This is freaking insane. If you get time, check this out. You can sign up for free. You can use it for free. The way I found out about it was that there's this guy called Levels on Twitter. You may have heard of him. He's like an indie hacker. He builds his own products. He's built a very realistic. It's like a try-on, an AI try-on tool. So you give it like a T-shirt, and it puts it on top of a real person. Well, it looks real, obviously. Let me see if I can show you right now. I'll show you what he made. And so I found out about the API because he commented that that's what he's using. Where is it gone? This right here. So he built Photo AI. It's pretty much like an AI rapper. I don't think he's built anything himself. But this is what he looks like. This is him, that model of him wearing different outfits, different suits, right? And then he's turned it into an actual video. And this is like the very basic version of it. But anyway, he's using this API I just showed you. And I've been using it for image generation, right? Look at this. You can literally generate that from that. And the reason why I'm so buzzing about this is because you get a lot of brands. I'm sure there's people listening right now who don't have tons of money. They can't afford to go spend like £500 to whatever, couple thousand on a shoot. But these AI tools can kind of help you wing it initially. So if you want to do like a lot of testing, you don't have tons of budget. You got tools like this now. Pay a small fee. You can pay like $10 to get the full version, and you can generate this. And the one to look for is called, let me get to it real quick. FAL. It's called wait, how do you pronounce this? Ideogram? Ideogram? They do a collaboration with these guys. It's a text to image model. Black out the screen so you can see the comments. Ah, damn it. Let me turn that darker reader on. One sec. My bad. I keep forgetting about that. Shoot. I'm going to do it on here as well. Is it going to work? No? Alright, here we go. Ads Manager is now in dark mode. And so is this. Yeah, so the API is called Ideogram. This literally beats everything out there, even ChatGPT's version. It's pretty crazy, to be honest. But anyway, they integrated with FAL.ai, and you can produce like the most accurate, most realistic content I've ever seen. I don't know how I'm just discovering this for the first time today. And they've got so many models as well. Yeah, I know this tool. Dylan, have you tried it with FAL.ai? Because the other thing I should mention, so they have this like fast training LLM, or I don't even know what you call it, fast training model. So what you can do is you can upload like 20 pictures, and it will quickly train itself. It costs $2. It'll quickly train itself. Then you give it a prompt, and it will produce content that looks like what it's just trained on. So basically, I was going on Pinterest and I was looking at mood boards. And I was looking, I had an example where I was looking for old school money type of vibes. So, you know, people are just rich, old school, kind of like big houses in different parts of the world, that kind of lifestyle. Downloaded 20 images, fed it into this tool. And now I can start creating content in that type of style. And then that content is now branded content for a brand. that's in that space. It's wild. No, it's called Foul AI. One sec, let me show you. I'll bring it up on here. Foul AI. Spell that. Why did I move away from an agency? It's a long story. The short version is, what I found is that it's very, very, very difficult to scale. The talent you hire, they don't stick around. They want to go on to bigger salaries or go freelance. And I actually found myself just wasting time. I was bringing in people at one point who weren't that experienced, but they were super hungry. They wanted to learn, wanted to become good, and it seemed like they would stick around. And of course, they kind of see what you're doing, learn, copy you, and 6 months later, they're either being poached for a higher paying job that you don't want to compete with, or they go be freelance. I even had people try and take the clients I had with them. And then on the other hand, you have issues with client retention. I had some clients I really worked my ass off for. I gave them freebies all the time. So like they would pay me for paid ads, but I would go and also do web development. I'd go and help them graphic design, whatever. I just wouldn't charge them for it. And they were getting good results, but they still would leave because some scammy agency on email has reached out and said that we will get you a 7x ROAS. If you don't get that ROAS, we'll refund you. Those types of offers. Which usually turn out to be bullshit because these clients then come back to you and say, yeah, I tried this agency, it didn't work. But for those reasons, I just figured that my time's better spent just being a freelancer and building startups and other companies, and that's what I've been doing. So I don't run an agency for that reason. But I do help agencies. I've consulted a couple. But it's a very saturated market now. It's not like it used to be. Is it good business to get into? If you want my honest opinion, I think if you're just looking to make money, I wouldn't get an agency going. I really wouldn't. You don't really have work-life balance. It's a grind. There are much better businesses that you can do. I think digital products is one. Whether it's a course, whether it's coaching, literally like a PDF, some kind of file, even tech companies, SaaS, whatever. Sell ad templates, sell spreadsheet templates, PowerPoint templates. I had a guy I've spoke about before on the stream who came to me. He made 800,000 on his own selling presets for videographers, and he doesn't work that much. I think he works like 2 hours a day or something, and he's working on what he enjoys. I think that's like the best type of business, and you can make more money doing that than trying to build an agency. Today I would only build an agency because of reasons like you want to build a team. This is actually a smart way to do it. I met a few people that do this. They build a team in house, and then what the founder of the agency does is they start either buying other businesses or launching them, and then they've already got a team in place to do the marketing. So you help people with meta ads, yeah. I work with them as a freelancer. What was the name of the text image AI thing? Sign up to this. It's called Foul.ai. This one. FAL.ai. But the actual model, yeah, it's called ideogram, however you pronounce it. I want to have more art painting sales. What's the best way to market meta ads, Pinterest? How much is the paintings that you're selling? Is it like fine art, or is it, say $50? How much is it? $35 to $500. I mean, like the $35 range up to maybe $100 you could do on ads. The ones that are sort of like 500, I'm guessing that's more custom maybe. Um, that have worked with a couple of artists in the past. I find it very difficult. I find it really difficult actually just run ads to be profitable. I think you got to build your brand up organically, build an audience, do live streams, show yourself doing the work, doing the paintings, like storytell, that type of stuff. I think you'd sell more than just trying to run ads. Trying to run ads to sell like a $500 painting is pretty difficult in my experience. There may be people out there that can do a better job than me. CPS £5. I get a few sales a day. Is that a good sign to scale? Yeah, if you're getting sales, I mean, £5 CPA is pretty cheap. If you're getting sales, then I would increase your budget incrementally. So to be safe, like do 10 to 15% every day. And then you're going to get to a point where you have to introduce retargeting if you're not already. Do I also do Google? Yeah, I do a lot on Google, but I don't really show it on TikTok because I feel like it's a bit more boring. A lot of it's just kind of repetitive stuff. What am I using to build startups? I'm using Replit. I'm using another one called Lovable Dev. Um, those are the two main ones at the moment. I'm in between the two. I think Lovable is like smarter, but it doesn't have the same features as Replit. I kind of wish they merged, but they don't. So I'm in between the two. How'd you get dark mode? It's a Chrome extension called Dark Reader. This one right here. I don't know if you can see it on my screen, but if you can, it's called Dark Reader. It's free, and I literally just turn it on, and yeah, it's working. The most genuine marketer I see on social media. Thank you, appreciate that. Have you seen decrease in results in December? Thoughts on January outlook? Have I seen a decrease? No. The reason why is because when it gets to about the 20th, around that time, it depends on where you are and stuff, but around the 20th of December, a lot of brands turn off their ads or they massively cut their spend because the Christmas period, the Christmas cutoff has gone. So if you want to get your product in time for Christmas, you'd have to order by like 15th December, depending on where you're from. So then a lot of brands turn down their ads, and then that opens up a load of opportunity for you to go and run ads and get cheaper CPAs from about the 20th to literally until today, to be honest. So for most clients I worked with, they've done pretty good. Of course, the ones who are really promoting, like I have one, it's a slipper brand. Those guys were really pushing Christmas and then they just cut their spend. It kind of makes sense to do that. But January is always a weird month. For some people, it's very profitable. For others, it's not. There's a whole argument of like people don't have as much money in January because they've spent it during the Christmas period. It depends on the market you're in. What brands do I work with? It varies. Like I've got tech company, I have a couple of e-commerce brands, jewelry brand, fashion brand, fashion accessories, I've got like a health and wellness. But they're pretty big brands. Like one of them does 1 million a month, or just under. I've got another one that does about 400k a month, and then a couple of smaller ones. What does my campaign structure look like? I'll see if I can pull up Miro, just show you, because it's just easier. Give me one sec. Oh no, is Miro going to be in dark mode? That might not work. Shoot, I think it's, yeah. Yeah, this won't look very good on my screen because I'm on dark mode. You know, I can just turn it off though. Screw it. Perfect. Yeah, it's always easier to show you on here because it's kind of drawn out. Right, I've got to make sure you can see this because my screen is very big. This is my typical structure. So I have a top of funnel campaign. The number of ad sets you have depends on a couple of factors, mostly around budget. So in this example, it's for a shoewear brand. So I have one ad set that's completely broad. This is super important. You have to exclude engagement, traffic, purchase. If you don't do that and you just launch an ad set, like open wide targeting, what's going to happen is it will show ads to people who are low hanging fruit, who won't really scale. So when you want to actually get results in Facebook, you have to make sure that you're spending enough money top of funnel, which basically means reaching new people. So you have to have these exclusions. It really annoys me that so many people just don't do this. And then they wonder why they're not getting results. So ad set 1 is broad. Broad can mean literally 18 to 65, no interest. Ad set 2 has interest. So for a shoe brand, it'd be something like this, like footwear, sneaker, could even be sandal. But what you can do in the ad set is click on that suggestions button. It'll give you a list of interests you can use. And then same thing again, you have to exclude people. The third ad set is brand names. So I might do Nike, Converse, whatever. There's all these different brands that you can find. The idea is with these interest ad sets, you want to kind of categorize them. So this one is just footwear, like standard interest. This one's brand names. Third one could be, I don't know. I did one once for like music. I had like Kanye, a couple of other artists in there. Just think about your customer personas. Where are your customers buying from, or what are they interested in? And then group those interests into an ad set. Don't go for one interest either. Try and have like 3 to 5. Then the ad creative depends on where you're at. Like if you're starting from scratch, I would do it like this: 2 video, 2 static, 1 carousel. If you find that static's working with you, for you, then just do static. And then you're literally just duplicating those ads across all the ad sets because you want to make that fair. You don't want one ad set that's got different creatives to the other. Make sure you have UTMs. Then bottom of funnel, retargeting. It's literally just 2 ad sets most of the time. First party means any event that happens within the platform, Facebook engagement, Instagram, video views. And then second ad set is traffic. You can use the same creative, or you can try and have other creative, like you could do discounts. It's not very good long term. It can kind of damage a brand. I think it's better if you have lifestyle content or social proof, you know, customers wearing the product, talking about it, whatever. That's pretty much it. And then the only reason I have multiple campaigns is because you have multiple regions or demographics or even product categories. That's it. Less is more. That's what I would say. Just keep it super basic. Is my dark mode going to go back on? Yeah, there we go. How long do you run the ads to test the best ad set? I will say like 3 to 7 days, 7 days max. If you're spending enough money, you can get results within 24 hours. If you spend like a couple thousand a day on an ad set. How many media buyers besides yourself? It's just me. Yeah, this is Facebook. How do you set up conversion tracking when it works? That's a bit of a long explanation, but assuming you're an e-com store, you're on Shopify, the quickest way is to literally use the Shopify app. Don't try and do it manually, because if you're not a developer, you'll probably get stuck. So I would honestly use the Shopify app, the Facebook app. Connect to your business manager. You'll have an option on the conversion tracking to create a new pixel, connect to an existing one. Select the maximum option, so you get all the data you need, and you'll be good. Some Shopify sites by default have a cookie banner that shows up, and if the user doesn't agree or doesn't give consent, then the tracking doesn't work. So you would turn off that banner so it automatically tracks people. That's up to you whether you want to do that. There's obviously laws and stuff around that based on where you are. But as someone coming to me recently, he didn't even realize that that was the case. And so the pixels never actually tracked until that user opted in. Do you see better conversions? Better conversations in your broad targeting campaigns or more targeted campaigns? I'd say broad. I don't really notice a difference that much. It really comes down to the ad creative. That's really what drives any difference. Am I running a lot of interest for this client? No, it's just broad, but the only difference is that it's either stage of the funnel, it's demographic, it's product specific, or country. How many years have I been doing this? Yeah, 9 years. Long time. I've gone through a lot of the big changes in Meta. When I first started, you would have companies with the crappiest products and services who were making a killing because of ads. It was wild. Now it's very, very difficult. Love to come on to get help with my ad account to run. Send me a DM, man. Why do I look at CPC and not CPC unique link click? I do look at unique link click, but because of the setup I have here, it just shows the all version by default. But if I was going to look at the other version, yeah, I'd go down to performance and clicks right here. And then over here. Yeah, I need to update my columns, to be fair. Domain creators for my agency. I use a lot of templates. I've got like 500 different templates I use. So I do, but for some brands who need like custom stuff, I get them to pay for someone to do it. Biggest trend in 2025? Well, there's going to be a couple. The first one is AI UGC. I think it's going to go crazy. I'm literally using it in nearly every ad account now. I think there's two that I'm not. Just because they're big brands, they don't want to kind of risk it. But they did try it, and to be fair, it did work. And I think the other trend is that all these brands that are spending heavy on like Meta are going to have a massive correction, and they're going to start going heavy on organic social. Yeah, I use Arcads. I'm only using Arcads at the moment. How long would you give a £40 product to test ads? What daily budget? £40 product? Ideally 7 days. But in terms of daily spend, £40 a day minimum per campaign. Do you include B-roll footage of Arcads or only the AI character? The way I do it is I get the AI character to talk about product or service or offer or whatever, and then I make their face a lot smaller and I crop out the background. I do it on CapCut. You can like remove the background automatically with the AI. So that video then overlays a pre-recorded video or even an image. Because what I found is if you have the entire screen with the character talking, you can kind of tell it's AI sometimes. So it's easier to just make them smaller, sometimes even hide their hands, and then you can get away with it. Your account got disabled for what? Suspicious activity. That happens a lot. Dash FI debit card. Could be down to that. What you can really do is verify your card. Like there should be a prompt in Ads Manager to give them, I think it's a list of invoices or bank statements. But it's a pain when that happens, nothing worse. I've not used dash.fi. I don't think I've even heard of it. That could be why. The product in this ad account is fashion accessories. Alright guys, I gotta go. It's pretty late here in the UK. I'll do some more work before I sleep. But thanks for watching. I'll be live tomorrow for much longer. Any questions, as always, send me DM.